Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to your favorite midwife, the one, the only, Maseko Nantlanhla. Maybe, aka Sister Mavi. I'm joking. No, I'm not joking. I'm actually Sister Mavi. Anyway, let's move. So, I'm back. It's been a while, and honestly, it hasn't been that long. It's just a week. It's just been a week, and the reason I took a bit long is because my phone deleted my footage. So yeah, but anyway, that doesn't matter because we're here now. Okay, we're here. I'm so sorry to be posting this video so late because someone asked me to post a video about expressing, right? So I'm really sorry I'm posting it so late. I hope it's not too late for you. I really hope it's not. So expressing, before I blab a lot. Okay, before we get into expressing, I hope you guys are still on lockdown. I hope you guys are still at home, taking good care of yourself, and only going to the shops when it's necessary. Yeah, hopefully we can move to... I'm not even hoping that we move to level 3. I hope that we move to level 5. But our very own president yesterday said there's a possibility that other places will move to level 3, which is really bad because the stats are just going crazy up. Anyway, that's not why we're here. So expressing. So what is expressing? What is expressing? See what happens when you don't prepare? I will just write the definition down here because I do not have a scientific definition. Expressing is basically just getting breast milk out into a cup or a bottle. Just getting it out there. And if I can think of the reasons why people express, it would be because you are going to work or to school, or you can't be with your child 24 hours, but you want your baby to be breastfed. Except it won't be directly from the breast. You'll just have to express, and then the baby will have their breast milk, right? So you want to continue feeding your baby your breast milk for 6 months, which is great. Makes me very happy. I become a very happy woman. So that's one of the reasons. And another reason would be because your baby cannot latch well. Other babies, they born prematurely, so they can't really latch well. So sad. So the mother ends up having to express, right? But remember, you need to keep on trying to put your baby on the breasts until the baby is able to latch. Otherwise, your baby will end up with what we call nipple confusion, because it's easier for the baby to feed from a bottle because it doesn't require too much effort as compared to the breast, right? Because when it comes to the breast, they are forced to use their muscles to breastfeed, so they're forced to use their mouth muscles, which helps the mouth muscles to be stronger, which is another benefit of breastfeeding, which I didn't mention before. But there you have it, right? And then another thing, why would you express again? Could I mention that you would express because you're going home? I think even when your breasts are your nipples are inverted. I'm not so sure, but I do think so. I think you can express. And then another reason I said it's because maybe your baby cannot latch well on your breast. What is the other reason? I forgot. Oh, if your breasts are engorged. Oh, how can I forget? So breast engorgement basically happens when you love one breast. So you always breastfeeding your baby on the side, or you're not breastfeeding enough. Do you guys know how many times you're supposed to breastfeed your baby in a day? People will be like, no, I just breastfeed on demand. Great, you must breastfeed on demand. But you need to make sure that your baby is fed 8 to 10 times a day. And that is 2 to 3 hours. Every 2 to 3 hours. So if you breastfeed at 8, you can breastfeed at 10 or 11 o'clock. Just like that. So every 2 to 3 hours. So that can be 8 to 10 times a day. Because your baby will sleep the whole day, and then you're not going to breastfeed them. And then you say you breastfeed on demand. It's great, but also you need to wake that baby up. Just had to put it out there. And so with breast engorgement, it happens because you're not breastfeeding enough. So your milk ducts end up being blocked, and when they're blocked, you will feel your breast becoming hard. When you touch it, it'll feel really hard. You'll even see it getting a bit shiny and ish like that, right? And then it becomes painful. Imagine having pain just because you're not breastfeeding the poor child. Oh, no. We don't want that. We do not want that. Breastfeed that poor baby. It's their breast milk. It was created for them. Breastfeed that baby. 2 to 3 hours, wake the baby up and breastfeed the baby. I know it's quite hard to wake the baby up, but just wake them up and feed them to avoid having that pain. So when you breastfeed, you need to make sure that you breastfeed on one breast until the whole milk is done, and then you go to the other side. So the reason for that is because when you breastfeed your baby on one breast, the breast milk, yeah, the feed is gonna start with a more water form milk, breast milk, so it doesn't have all the nutrients, and then as time goes by it switches to the milk that has nutrients. I don't know if I'm making sense. So it's like the baby drinks water first from your breast, right? And then they get the proper nutrients. So if you stop breastfeeding the baby after the water, it means the baby only got the water, and then you switch to the other side, your baby only gets water, so your baby ends up crying throughout the day and you don't know what's going on, right? Okay, so to avoid breast engorgement, you need to breastfeed 2 to 3 hours every single day until, yeah, and just change your breasts. So that's another reason we would advise a woman to express, so that the milk ducts can be opened up. But the one way to open the duct is to put the baby on the breast. Because imagine, let's make an example of a straw. If there's an occlusion inside the straw, when you pull, it's obviously gonna come out, right? And then you'll be able to drink from your straw nicely. So that's basically what happens. I don't know if I'm making sense. So okay, let's just get straight into expressing. Okay, so when you express, first of all, you need a clean cup, right? You can get a cup from your house, the cups that you have at home. You can use a bottle. You can use you can use a bottle, and then you can also use these small cups. I think you can get them at Clicks or Discam, or any pharmacy. So they basically what we use in clinics and in, what's this place again, at the hospital. Okay, at the hospital they have measurements on them as well. It's easier to use those, especially when you are like immediately after the brain block is back, after birth, immediately after giving birth, right? Oh, also on that note, another reason why a woman would have to express would be because they are separated from their baby at birth. So maybe the baby's in an ICU or the mother is in high care. So yeah, if that happens, yeah, then the mother will have to express. So that's what you need. And then you need yourself or a breast pump, depending on what you are going to use. Are you going to do it manually, or are you going to use a breast pump, right? So that's all that you need. You need either your bottle, your cup, or that small cup, and yourself or the breast pump. So you just need two things. Two. That's all that you need to express. And you need to make sure that your cup or whatever that you're going to use for the breast milk is sterilized. We do not want that baby to end up with an infection. So we need to make sure that it's sterilized. So if you're using the cup at home, you need to boil it for 5 minutes. By boil, I mean you take a big pot, you pour water in it, and then you put whatever material that you're going to use in there. When it starts boiling, that's when you're going to start counting your 5 minutes. That's you sterilizing it. So before you express into anything, make sure it's clean and sterilized. We don't want that baby ending up with infections, please. Okay, so let's talk about expressing right after birth. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of frustrating, especially for the mother. And I know this because I have helped a couple of women express after birth because they are separated from their children. And it becomes frustrating because at birth, the milk that comes out is what we call colostrum. My patients call them discharges. Literally. This woman saw that yellowish milk coming out, and she was like, so I have a discharge. And she was not the only one. Wow. Okay, so that yellowish milk that comes out first is what we call colostrum. It is great for the baby. Not even great. They need it. It's a need for them to be strong. Okay, so colostrum has the the nutrients that your baby needs, right? And the most important thing it has is what we call, what do we call them? Immuno. So basically things that make your baby strong, that boost the baby's immune system. I forgot what they're called. I'll just write it down here. Zing. Just, yeah, I'll just go through it. So it basically has everything that the baby needs. It's very thick, therefore it does make the baby full. Okay, it makes your baby full. I know when I will be thinking, sister, the milk is not coming out, or like, yeah, it's just a bit of milk. That bit, that yellowish milk that's coming out, that bit is exactly what your baby needs. It's thick because it makes the baby full quicker, and it also lines your baby's stomach to protect it from bacterial infections. So it is the best. So basically, the reason I'm mentioning the colostrum is because when you're expressing, it's frustrating because it's just a little bit. So most of the time when we express or like help the women with to express the colostrum, we use a teaspoon so that the woman doesn't become frustrated, because if you use that small cup that I told you about, then you will see this little drop and you'll feel like it's not enough for your child, but it is okay to make that baby's glucose to be normal. Like after birth, you need to breastfeed within the first hour of birth. So if your baby is born at 8, by 9 the baby must be breastfeeding. So if you guys are separated, you can just express and then give that baby the milk that they need. So when it comes to expressing itself, when you express, you do not express from here like this. I'm gonna make an example of the straw. I think I did, yeah. So another example is straw. When you're drinking from a straw and you bite the end of the straw, luckily I have like a hole here, so I'll have something coming in. But like if you're completely occluded, then when you pull, you're obviously not going to get that drink or that water out. So that's basically what happens when you do this, right? So you're closing those milk ducts so nothing can come out. So when you express, you need to express from here. So this is what you do. I'm so sorry I have to use my own boobs. I do not have a mannequin to demonstrate this, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to use my own boobs. So when you express, this is basically what you do. So you press from here to there. So that's how the milk is going to come out, right? And sometimes you find that when you express, nothing much is coming out. You can also use your vasla. So your face cloth, just warm it up and just place it there. I don't really know the mechanism behind it, but it helps. Just know that it helps, okay? So you just put that cloth so that there's that warmth in yana. When it feels the warmth, the breast milk comes out. If you have noticed when you are showering or bathing that because of that warmth, the milk comes out, right? So that's basically what happens. I do not know the mechanism behind it, the physiology behind it, but it helps. So you can do it. So when you express, you're gonna express from here, and then so let me just make an example. You're using this cup, this bottle. Obviously not, don't use this bottle. Don't use this bottle. Why would you use this bottle? So you're gonna express into the bottle from here to there, from here to there, right? Until the milk is in there. As time goes by, you'll see the milk will even shoot like because you have enough milk now. So what do you do to make sure that you have more milk? Guess what? All you have to do is breastfeed, breastfeed, breastfeed. The more you breastfeed, the more you're breastfeeding. So the more you breastfeed, the message goes to your brain and tells your brain that we need more milk. So please produce more milk. And then you end up producing more milk. That's why when you stop breastfeeding, the milk after a while disappears, because now it's like, oh, there's no demand, there's nothing, no one needs the milk, so yeah, we're gonna stop. So yeah, so oxytocin is released and then more milk is produced, right? So that is the great thing. So the more you express, the more you breastfeed, the more milk that's gonna be produced. I'm having mind blocks again, but it's okay. I really need to discuss. I need to talk to this doctor about this because wow. Okay, I hope I covered the expressing part. I really hope I did. So now I'm going to discuss how to store the milk. So breast milk can survive for certain periods of time in certain temperatures, right? But I'm not going to discuss other temperatures, if I'm making sense. I'm just going to discuss the deep freezer because it lasts for 6 months. So it means it can last for 1 day, for 2 days, for 6 months, for 3 months. So just use that for safety's sake. So after expressing your milk, agree you'll either, sometimes I forgot to mention this. So you can use a breast pump, right? So when you use a breast pump, you just place it there and then the milk is just gonna go into the bottle. It comes with instructions, so I really don't think it's that much of work. Okay, anyway, when it comes to storing your breast milk, you can store it in your deep freezer for 6 months. Okay, so how do you store it? So I would advise you guys to use, those plastics, those ice plastics, man, those ice plastics. I'll try to Google them. I don't know if I'll find them. Then just place a picture there or somewhere. So those ice plastics, you can put the agree express, and you put it in the cup. So you can pour it in the ice, those ice thingies, and then tie them. And then write the date with a permanent marker because it's going to come out. The reason you're writing a date is because the first one in will be the first one out. And also to make sure that you don't end up feeding your baby milk that has expired, right? So you put them in a deep freezer after expressing. And then, what did I want to say? Okay, so you're going to put it in the deep freezer. So if you are a working mom or you're going to school, it means that milk, it's in the deep freezer. So obviously at night you'll be home unless you're working night shift. So let's just make an example of a person who works during the day. So at night when you come back, you'll obviously breastfeed your baby. And then at that night when you're busy breastfeeding your baby, take out the milk. First one in is the first one out. So the oldest one, basically, you're gonna take that milk out. I am not so sure how much milk your baby would need, but just make sure it's enough for the day. Yeah, you as a mom should know how much your baby feeds. You're supposed to feed the baby 8 to 10 times a day. So depending on when you're coming back from work, or what time you're going to work, and all of that, just make sure. So at night, take out that milk in the plastic, put it out. It's iced now. It's ice. It's that ice. So you put it outside. Not one plastics that will be enough for your baby the next day. So put them all out. Just put them on top of a table or whatever, right? And then in the morning, you'll obviously breastfeed. Before you go to work, bond with your baby. But if you can't, it's okay. It's fine. So long as you put out the plastics, right? So after taking out the plastics, obviously in the morning when you wake up, they will not have the ice anymore. So where I stay is very hot. So I'm sure after putting them outside, they will be at proper room temperature that you can feed your baby literally same time. You don't have to warm up the milk. So you can pour it in the baby's bottle and then make them drink. And so another option to warm up your milk is to, let me just use this jug. So you see this jug, you can pour hot water and then you put the those ice packs inside, or you can take, the ice would have melted in the plastics. You can pour the milk into the bottle and then place the bottle inside. So you'll have hot water in here, and then this is your bottle. You poured the breast milk in it, and then you're gonna put it in the hot water so that it warms it up, right? And then you'll just keep on checking the temperature. You don't want to burn your baby, right? So do not boil the breast milk. Do not put it in the microwave. When you do that, you are killing the necessary nutrients, so it's quite useless. It'll be like you're feeding that baby my water. So if you have any questions, I think I'm going to end it here. If you have any questions, please ask, comment. You can find me on all social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Insta, and I'm on Facebook. I don't really check my Facebook that much, but Instagram, definitely. Twitter, definitely. So just check me out there, and you will find my handles on my description box. Is it called a box? Whatever it's called. If you want me to touch on something else, just let me know. But if you want me to touch on positions of how you breastfeed your baby, how you can be comfortable and ish like that, I'm going to do that video in a few minutes. So I'm going to post it as well in a while. So don't stress about that. It's going to be there. Just relax. I gotcha. So yeah, that's it for me, your favorite midwife. I love you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, recommend this channel, guys. Please recommended. This is for people who don't really get the health education that they need. People who have questions. Maybe you can't even go back to the clinic or the hospital or to your midwife or wherever to ask these questions. So you have the platform to ask me anything, and I will, if I don't have it up here, because most of the things I just speak them from up here. So I'll just do some research and then get back to you. So yeah, that's it from me. Peace out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and comment, and follow me on all my social media platforms. Bye guys.